My name is Antonio Strasiotto, and this is my recorded presentation for my Principles of Persuasion final project. For the topic, I chose to focus my research on fascism, a political cult that was developed in Italy in the early stages of the 20th century by one of the most charismatic yet controversial figures of all time, Benito Mussolini. Mussolini was born in 1883 in a family belonging to the working class. However, his family didn't really manage to integrate itself with what was the social reality of its community at the time, especially because of the social and political beliefs of his father. Like his father, Mussolini also grew up revolutionary. Since a very young age, he showed great interest in politics. However, he didn't share many of the beliefs and preachings that the Catholic Church and Catholic religions were teaching at the time. He started his career as elementary school teacher, and then became a journalist for a short period before joining the Socialist Party. However, due to his revolutionary and rebel behavior, the members of the party were forced to expel him. His political career, however, was not quite done. He was in fact a man of broad views. He wanted to put a revolution in place in what was the political reality in Italy at the time. He wanted to fight against the monarchy, who he considered to be an oppressor for the people. And he wanted to gain political control and make his own political ideas become a reality. This is why in 1919 he established the Italian Fascist Fighter, which was an independent military corps that aimed at punishing, even with violence, all those individuals and institutions that had let Mussolini down from a political standpoint. Only 2 years later, in 1921, he gave birth to the National Fascist Party, actually entering in a definitive way the political scene of Italy at that time. Only 2 years later, with a coup d'etat, he managed to be given the full power by the king and become the president of the Council of the Reign of Italy. As we learned in class, in 1951, American social philosopher Eric Hoffer came out with The True Believer, one of the most important books, which contains a study in which 6 principles are found to be at the basis for the creation and consolidation of mass movements. I believe this principle can be applied to understand how fascism and how this big political movement was created as well. The first one is hatred, the first principle is hatred, which is defined by Hofer as the most accessible and comprehensive factor that contributed to the creation of a mass movement, as it features the incitement of people to raise up and act against what is perceived as one big common enemy. It is important to clarify, however, that fascism was different from Nazism for its purposes, at least at the beginning, as it did not involve any particular form of hate. Mussolini was aware of what his enemies were. He wanted to fight against the monarchy and other revolutionary and other political parties. But fascism at the beginning was just a different political way to govern the country, opposed to what the Marxist capitalism and the socialist ideology was. However, it would be only when the movement lacked support and it needed to be supported by more individuals that Mussolini's political plan shifted towards a more racial and hating policy. In fact, after the march on Rome in 1922, as we mentioned earlier, he gained political control of Italy. However, following Hitler models, he came out in 1938 with the racial laws. The racial laws were such a revolutionary theme for Italy at the time, as there had never been an official act that discriminated